up with the vlog hops, I decided that I'm going to do prompt number 7, which is, what advice would you give to a person when someone calls them weird or too old to play with dolls? What should dolly owners that have anxiety or depression do? And when you maybe don't want to play with your dolls anymore or feel in shame to have them. So that's a long 3-part question. But to start with, what should someone do when they're called weird or too old to play with dolls? I personally feel that you can really tell people to mind their own business because this is something you love doing. This is your hobby, and you know what? People have all sorts of different hobbies. I mean, there's people who collect dead bugs, okay? Call it science, I don't care. That's still weird. But the point is, whatever you define as weird is totally your choice and your decision. And if people think it's weird for you to collect dolls, then that's their opinion. But I think the point is to not let those kind of things bother you. So if someone calls you weird or, oh, you're too old to play with dolls, well, let's define what it is that you mean play with dolls. I'm pretty sure that most of us who are adults collecting dolls are not having like you're not playing with your dolls as you did when you were little and you play with like your Barbies and you hit them in the wall or something. I mean, whatever it is that you did. I know that my friends and I used to throw our Barbies down to my friend had a big house and she had like a little waterfall in her patio and we used to throw them there and make them swim. So I'm quite sure you don't do that with your pull-ups, not because that might be childish, but also because they're really expensive. So I think when we define playing with dolls, we actually, a lot of us mean we change their outfits, we change their wigs, we change their style, we customize them, or we photograph them. We take them places and photograph those adventures. And to me, that's what playing with my doll means. I'm so sorry if you hear the sound. I'm trying to take it off, but it's not working. Anyway, so define what playing with dolls means, and then if you feel the need to explain that to someone who might call you weird for collecting dolls or too old, then so be it. You can explain it. But other people who don't deserve your time or attention, they can go be judgmental wherever the hell they want. You do not have to explain yourself. As long as you're happy and your hobby's not hurting anybody, then have at it. Have fun, girl or boy. I'm very animated, I know. So, part 2 of the question, what should dolly owners that have anxiety or depression do? Okay, I feel that a dolly owner who has anxiety or depression has nothing to do with the fact that you have dolls. This is something that should really be handled and managed by a professional who is a professional in the field of psychology or psychiatry who can actually handle and provide resources to someone who has anxiety or depression. I personally feel, and I know some of you have said this too on your videos, that it's not really appropriate to bring to a group on Facebook that the whole purpose is to collect dolls and share that experience as dolly owners. It's not really appropriate to bring your depression and anxiety issues to the group. I understand that, a lot of people feel really connected to the members of the group because they have all of these things in common, but that does not mean that you should put on blast that you have anxiety and depression and what should I do. Those are questions that you should really be asking a professional, because let's be honest, we're not professionals, and for as much comfort as we might bring to you, if you have a serious, legitimate anxiety or depression issue, those should be brought up to a professional, not to your friends across the country who collect dolls with you. That's my personal opinion. Of course, I know that all of us still want to be supportive of each other, but I think issues of that nature are a much higher degree that we just cannot handle because we're not professionals. All right? And part 3, when you maybe don't want to play with your dolls anymore or feel in shame to have them. I think this kind of goes along with part 1 of this question about you're too old, it's so weird that you collect them. Again, I think that everything's a choice in a sense. If you choose to let someone's comments bother you, then they're gonna bother you and you're gonna feel ashamed to have this hobby. So it's really about how much you are willing to let in, how much you're willing to affect you. And so that's when the shame comes in, because I think shame is not really self-provoked. Shame is, I mean, it is in a way, but it's based on someone else's opinion of you or the things that you do. And so with that said, I think you have the ability to come out of that and be like, you know what? No, I love these dolls, and to me, they're everything. And again, if you want to explain to certain people the reasoning behind your doll collection, then go for it. But again, there's some people in your life that are just not worth your time, who are gonna be judgmental, and they're not gonna understand your hobby, and that's okay. Everybody's different. Like I said, some people collect bugs, some people collect cars, some people collect action figures, which to me it's like, that's the same thing, brother, but whatever. And in terms of like, if you kind of lose interest, I'm trying to read if you don't want to play with your dolls anymore. So personal example here, I went through something personal a couple of months ago where I was really not feeling like doing anything that I love. And I do a lot of things here and there for hobbies. So obviously I have my doll collection, I paint a little bit, I play music. So all of those things at that point became uninteresting to me. Not because I didn't love them anymore, it's just that when something else is in my mind, it's hard for me to focus on the things that I love doing, because this other thing is like taking up that space. So if you get to that point, I think it's really up to you to decide, like, okay, is this it? Like, do I not want to have this hobby anymore? Or do I want to see how I feel in a couple of weeks or maybe a couple of months? And that's what I did, basically. I mean, not ever at any point during that period did I think, oh, I need to sell my dolls. I never felt that way. I was just in a place where I was like, you know, I really don't want to play with them, and I don't feel like doing anything with them, so they were just sitting there. But finally, I started getting back on my feet and getting back to my normal routine and being happy Carmi that I am. And that's when I was like, yes, now I have the motivation to play with them again. And sometimes that's all it takes. And sometimes all it takes is making a little change as well. So if you want to change their eye chips or change their clothes, change their wigs, change their hairstyle, you know, like work with what you have. Sometimes that's all it takes in order to get back into that motivational stage of playing with them and doing whatever it is you want. But I think everything is a personal choice. So you do you, boo. Does that make sense? Do you, boo. You know, do what you feel is best. If you get to a point where you don't want to play with them anymore and you feel like you're done, like for real, you're done, and you feel you want to sell them, do that. I mean, it's totally your choice. I think as long as you feel like this is the right choice for you, it's totally fine. No one's gonna say anything to you. No one's gonna call you crazy or dumb. It's your choice. And that's with anything. If you make decisions on things, stand by them. Do your research. Make sure you are confident about your choice or decision and stand by it. And that goes for any of these things we just talked about. So that's my answer to that. I hope that makes sense. I agree with all of you guys who have made a video on this as well, but I'm happy to share my take on it as, also. And I hope that's helpful and that it answers the question. And of course, if you have anything to share or want to discuss, I'm more than happy to have that discussion. Alright guys, hope this is awesome. I will talk to you soon in the next video. Bye!